Hi, and welcome to another Crisp TV interview. Today, I'm joined by Markus Borlinghaus, founder and CEO of Scalable Global Solutions. Thank you for joining me for this interview, Markus.
Thank you very much for having the opportunity to do so, and nice to meet you in person.
Now, Markus, can you give me a high-level overview of Scalable Global Solutions?
What it is an industry-agnostic solution whereby companies can build their own departments here in Croatia. So they define the job position, they select the candidate we searched for them, but they will be ultimately employed by us in Croatia. After we employed them, we provide everything they need to work. So from a work environment, a dedicated office, infrastructure, laptop, operating system, but for data security, for data protection, and for GDPR compliance, like with normal employees, everything on the laptop in terms of access, what this person would have, is managed by the client IT. After we have hired the person on behalf of the customer, so he is the one who said, I want this person after a series of interviews, we'll send that person to new hire training to the client, the same way as normal employees also go through a new hire training at the client. Once they come back, there's nobody here in SGS who tells them what they should work on. Why would we? It's the department of the customer. So he also manages, runs, and operates the entire department that we have built here for him. We do this for 8 corporate segments, such as operations, IT, marketing, sales, human resources, and several others, which are 8 corporate segments existing in every company in the world, hence why industry agnostic.
Well, thank you, Markus, for that very detailed introduction to your venture. Now, what was that specific problem that you saw in the market?
The problem in the market is actually 3 problems that customers face very simply. Problem number 1 is lack of talent. A lot of companies want talent, and because they're small, the talent runs away. So let's say you would need a certain engineer in the automotive industry as a mid-sized company having 200 employees, and you're based in Munich, Germany. So the same place where BMW is placed. So who do you think gets the engineer? The small, medium-sized company or BMW? Most likely BMW. But here's the tricky part. The small, medium-sized company pays 1,000 euros netto per month more than BMW does. Still, the people go to BMW because of the CV and reputation. So the second problem they have is increase of cost. Over the past 3-4 years, and now with the global pandemic, the aftermath of the global pandemic, and now we also have the uncertain situation in a neighboring country that has risen globally, the prices, especially the prices for energy and cost, and also labor cost, over the last 4 years by 61%. The third component is process optimization. Small and medium-sized companies have a tendency to solve their problems in-house by themselves. In this setup, inherent is not having always the best setup, process, or optimization possibility. So with our software, we help to solve the problem. With people, we have to solve the problem because we reduce the cost of people and therefore the cost of operation by up to 60% by having this labor force being based here in Croatia. And the availability we also solve because we're not just sourcing in Croatia from Croatia. We source for Croatia worldwide. So for one client in operations, we hired a Japanese lady. In HR, we hired a Turkish person. For a client in IT and operations and development, we hired a person from Tehran. So what I'm trying to say is we also facilitate the entire relocation process from the visa over the registration, the work employment, the police registration, getting a bank account, and ultimately a place to stay.
can you tell the listeners about any milestones that you've hit so far that would allude to future success of this venture?
So milestones is we signed in the past 18 months, 7 clients. A client usually starts small because small, medium-sized customers are skeptical. So they start their teams with 1, 2, or 3 people. Once they've seen how easy that is, they start to ramp this up. So one of our customers signed 3 people. A year later, which is today, it's now 10 people. And now they made the decision to ramp up to 30. And next year to add next to Austria team, the French, Swiss, and German team. So a client who started contractually with 160K turnover per year, about 10, 12,000 per month, is now at 45,000 per month. So hence somewhere around 500,000 a year, which will next year be between 2.5 and 3.5 million when this team has reached an operations of 70 to 80 people. And that's the typical growth of a customer. We will break even in the next 6 months. The moment we have 30 people in operations for customers, we will hit break even. So even if we don't sign new clients, just with the existing business, we will break even. We have an average monthly revenue growth month over month by 20%. We now started to implement a partner program. At the moment, we have found these deals by selling directly with our own salespeople. Now, I worked in companies like Cisco, Juniper, Microsoft, Xerox, and ATI, which are selling indirectly to the market via a channel partner program. So over the past 8-9 months, we programmed a corporate intranet. We have then started in the half of this year to hire our first and find our first value-added resellers and partners. And we signed up the first 6 partners in 6 countries, and the first partners have already brought customers that have signed business with us. So the goal is to implement a corporate-wide and European-wide and later globally partner network with consultants whose core initiative is to optimize processes and save costs. Now they have an opportunity to sell a solution which contributes them an intake, a revenue intake for the next 36 months guaranteed. Then base partner, premium partners, and gold partners with different certifications. The next highlight is we have a total new investment of 800K achieved in the first 9 months of 2022. And monthly recurring revenue is over 50K since last month. So we will reach the 60K this month. We will reach in December approximately 100K per month. That's not bad for a startup company, I would say. We have 6 signed channel partners. There are 3 more in the making. And we have 1 channel partner, as I said before, who brought a client. Sales pipeline has reached nearly 5 million. When I mean sales pipeline, I'm not talking about the funnel. We mean customers we're currently negotiating their teams, which we estimate to win in this quarter, next quarter, and then next year. The total funnel is over 9 million in sales pipeline. And that brings me to the next point. Small, medium-sized companies were very reluctant to do anything in Corona. So when Corona started, it was, oops, it was a hindrance, it was a damper for our fresh start. But it also was the best thing that could happen to us in a long-term scale. Why? The milestone is that small, medium-sized leadership have realized what they never imagined before. Because by law, everybody had to work from home for 2.5 years. They realized it works. So they now understand if my controller, my marketing, or my salesperson can work 2.5 years successfully from home, well, then they can do this from Croatia, where we save 60% cost operational expenditure for the client. And the second thing every customer realized, they don't need the office space anymore. Office space in prime location is very expensive. So they can have a lot of departments being implemented in Croatia they can overall reduce their office space. And another highlight is we negotiate with a client who starts with 5 departments to implement with us, ramping up over the next 18 months with a total amount of 40 people. That's a 3 million deal right there per annum when it's fully implemented.
Now, it would be great if you could touch upon any alternative methods that are available in the market. And if there are, so how does Scalable Global Solutions differ from these alternative methods, and how does it maintain its competitive edge in the market?
So if you ask me, is there any provider currently out there in the world who combines all 4 into one solution, led, managed, operated, controlled by the client? There is no one. So when it comes to 100% control of operations from a client perspective, and service every department a client possibly has, the only vendor currently in the market, as far as we could see, discover, and look around, is SGS.
Let us dive deeper into your team. So can you talk to us about the specific skills and expertise that they bring to the table, and how your team is going to help you scale this venture with the near term?
I would say the answer to your question is twofold. Number one, how do we go about finding people, and what do we look for in people? We have our own recruitment team, so we really look people, we advertise, we search, we hunt people down that we think would be great for the job. Then every person has to go through the same interview process, and we run 5 interviews minimum with every candidate before employment, where not only the future manager is involved, also peers and colleagues. So our decision-making matrix has 5 points. We're looking for people who have know-how, competence, expertise, skills, and cultural fit. Now, the first 4 is 50% of the decision-making, and the last one, cultural fit, is the other 50% of the decision-making. Because if you have a great, knowledgeable person, but that is not culturally a fit into the leadership team or any department member, it doesn't make sense for the company. And the second answer to the question is, if we find a brilliant, bright person, but that is lacking some of the skills, I can train for skills, I cannot train for personality.
Now, as my final question, Markus, and this is for the prospective investors in the audience, can you talk to us about what does the roadmap look like for Scalable Global Solutions moving forward? So what milestones are you looking to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months? What should our investors be excited to see with your venture?
So the goal for 2023 is to build a full leadership team that allows the company to succeed and continue to grow, even if I would be sick or not available or dead, because that's important from a security point of view for investors. Then to become cash flow positive in 2023 as early as possible. I want to enhance SGS 1 feature range, and I want to start a program SGS 1 2.0, which will be much more enhanced and will have the lesson learned from the past and feedback from customers, what they think would be great to have. So I'm not going to develop the future platform based on what creative features we can come up with. Then we would end up like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, and Salesforce.com. We focus by listening to customer demands and customer needs for their daily business. We want to develop and build a new mobile app. So we have, for one of our applications, a beautiful mobile app. We want to do this for all of our applications or all our department solutions. We definitely want to grow the channel partnership program. At the moment, we have 6 channel partners. The goal is to sign 150 consultants with an average of 2.5 FTEs, so people who work in the consultancy. Then 80 base partner, 60 premium partner, and 10 gold partners. For that, I need to go from the channel team that is currently 2 people to minimum 15. Why is that important? Because it would give us over 750 people who are trained on all our solutions, software and solution department as a solution, who go and sell this in established markets with established customer base across Europe. Because if a local partner who works with a client for 10 years saying, hey, here's a new solution that saves you money, they listen. So it gives us faster access in the different markets and feedback. So extend the other department and to start a subsidiary in Thailand. Thailand is the new India. So where India were 25 years ago by its prices, this is where Thailand is today. You get top developers, top engineers in Thailand. I want to build the Thai entity first to program our software solution SGS 2.0, because I can do the same money a lot more. Second, once the software and customers use our software and have implemented departments, we do nearshoring because Europe needs language skills. But some solutions don't need that. Payroll. You don't need payroll in French, you need payroll in English. So certain solutions later can be basically done 24/7 from Thailand for Europe. That gives customers, again, a great solution, more affordable, plus we make a better margin. And then is the first step towards a global approach. And the last milestone is to complete the seed stage round by getting another 2.1 million or 2.2 million, ideally in the next 4 months, 500K.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Markus. And then, I'm sure that all the viewers as well will be keen to keep a tab on the growth of your venture moving forward. For anyone who's interested to get in touch with the team at Scalable Global Solutions, please see the details at the side of the screen or in the description. I would like to thank you again, Markus, for coming on for this interview, and I wish you all the luck with your venture moving forward.
Thank you very, very much. And I'm looking forward to continue to work with Wholesale Investors.